Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Myth. When last we left off, So probably was kicked in her sleep while some mysterious woman was searching through the room looking for something. We technically don't know what yet. I think you can probably guess pretty easily, but technically, I guess we don't know. But I guess let's get back into it, shall we? Oh, and this is where you left off last time. This is what happens if you let the thing go. Because entire, sorry, fixing my headphones. I'm sure you could probably hear that because it's right next to the mic. This entire text is one single line in terms of how the game is coded. As you can see, that was the line before that, and then here. So, I think it might just be a quirk with the game being loaded or something like that. Or I'm not sure. It's probably just, it was all one line and is meant to display slowly. But it might just be something weird with how the game loads in text on scenes, like in the NVL scenes. I don't know. Anyway, the shadow was gone. Where did he go? I didn't know. Everyone else was gone too. They must have been afraid. I could understand that. I was painfully afraid. That was wonderful. I followed her gaze. Black stuff was all over the axe. Even its blood ink was black. Even its goopy flesh was black. Well, I mean, if it isn't normally blood that's black typically referred to as an ichor, or is that specifically blood-like, but not, I don't remember the definition of it right offhand. I do use it too much when playing D&D, but that's neither here nor there. So black. Maybe that's why no one was around. It made sense. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to end up like this. You all made the right choice. Hey, why did I... Berserker. I couldn't understand her or the black stuff on my hands. Or that burr thing she just said. I made her laugh again. That's your name from now on. That was all thanks to her. I really liked it when she smiled. It was because of her smile that I could clean off the black stuff from the axe's blade with a smile of my own. That house looks vaguely familiar. I'm sure it means nothing. Enter. It was a big building. No, it was home. It was a home. The reason why that seemed off to me was because I hadn't properly given it a name. No other word besides home fit that building. I was convinced about that from the bottom of my heart. Come on. She turned to me and smiled. You aren't going to come inside? I nodded and headed for the entrance. Welcome. A nice man welcomed us at the entrance. He looked at me in awe. He's Nuridari. The girl beside me introduced me to the man. Dari. I heard that earlier. The shadow from earlier that I destroyed said it. I see. I was surprised since I hadn't seen him before. He seemed to accept me once she told him that. And it seemed like my appearance wasn't what surprised him. What's your name? The way he asked me that reminded me of Mama. I'm Berserker. Berserker, my name's Freyr. He smiled. Anyway, come on in. I'll show you around. He stuck his hand out. It was all so nostalgic. Sure. In the past, when I was still with Mama, Papa, and my brother, I always experienced kindness like this. And shaking that man's warm hand made me feel nostalgic for that kindness. There were a lot of people inside. I was relieved, because it was like there were only monsters outside. I thought that everyone here looked like that. Who are you? One of the people spoke to me. He's a new Radari. Is he now? He looked at me suspiciously. It bothered me. What's Radari? I tried asking the man before me. Knights, starved knights. Just look at them. He pointed at the crowd. They all look hungry, right? Do they? He replied that they do. I tried looking at them again. There was a girl who looked tough, and a man looking down. A boy was there, too. And so many others. My eyes went with one of the men there. It was awkward. But I thought the opposite of what the man said about them being starved. They seemed full of willpower, and hints of such could be seen in the glint of their eyes. You just don't understand yet. He patted me on the head. Is he a new Radari? What? Bring him over here, Thor. The man apologized. He took me to the center of the room. Allow me to introduce him. This is our new Radari, Berserker. Freyr introduced me to everyone. Berserker. Everyone's expression seemed to go blank. I couldn't figure out why. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet ya. Everyone welcomed me after that. I was so happy. Myth. Day 7. Creation of the Birthday Party Executive Committee. And, I want to go here. Yeah, as I've mentioned, I'm very inspired by Norse mythology. I mean, with the names like Freyr, Thor, Berserker, other names that will be appearing later, and references to other things. I'm just looking something up to double check before I. Okay, I was actually wrong. By the way. Radari is a thing. It is a knight, a mounted warrior. Yeah. I think chess pieces are, like the chess knight is Radari, but at least that's what made it look like, chess knight. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's, I, for some reason, was thinking that I'd looked it up in the past and it was meaningless, but there must be another thing. An even other thing in here that they reference that is not a thing. But let's see. We have, well, more things to read. No, nothing new for you. Gender Odin, god of this world. Gender female, everything else is unknown. The girl responsible for the slaying of shadows in Asgard. Her past is a complete mystery. She reveals the truth to Berserker, the man she found with the torn up shadow in the city. Berserker thinks he likes Odin. Odin invites Berserker to Asgard. And Berserker murders shadows. And Mama is from Mama's world. And Berserker, it would seem, is from like both or something. I think that's what that's supposed to represent. Shadows, everything unknown. The Pursued. Yana. Illogical beings living in Asgard. They are ferocious and barbaric. They're known for being uncivilized and act in accordance with their instincts, making them no different from beasts. Odin calls them pitiful. And looking at myth, with her village chief, there's a connection there. We've already read that, so let's look at Kotomi. Gender female, age 29, birthplace of Village of Shadows, blood type A, date of birth unknown. Hibiki's mother and Shimon's neighbor. She is a voracious reader and has many books in her house. She owns so many, in fact, that she can't keep track of them all. She has a warm personality and is good with children. The village chief tries to woo her whenever he has a chance, but she always manages to evade his advances. So you're just neighbor. You are neighbor. You are girl with a shadow and body. Motor girl. Woman with a secret. Okay. And village chief. Leader of the village. Male. Age 61. Birthplace Village of Shadows. Blood type. Stereotype. Okay. Date of birth unknown. The man in charge of the Village of Shadows. He has a wild personality and often causes problems for Mato and the others. What's even worse is that him and So seem like to be two peas in a pod. He also has a serious side to him that comes out in pressing situations, or when there are issues in the village. He's really a tough person to get a handle on. And a woman who knows about the voices. Woman living on the village outskirts. Gender, female, everything else unknown. A mysterious woman. She seems to know something about that voice. She lives at the house at the edge of the village, so it takes an entire day to visit her house. Weird. The village did not seem that far to me. The house did not seem that far. And the world, the village rather, does not seem that big. I'm scratching my ankle. I have a flea bite on my ankle. Because for some reason, this summer, after not having fleas for like 7-8 years, any issues with fleas like at all of a sudden we have issues with fleas. And now I'm very allergic to fleas. Not deadly so, I'm just very allergic. I have heightened reactions to them and it sucks. But I'm treating my bed and floor because that's pretty much the only place they can be. Anyway, I'm rattling. Stop. Whoa. I want to play Crash. I haven't played Crash in a long time. What is going on? You're asking me? The room looked the same as it always did. Nothing was out of place. It was just as calm and quiet as you'd expect it to be. What about that girl? That girl? Was that really a dream? It felt so real. Morning! So greeted me. That might have been the first time I woke up while she was still in the room. She always got up so early. Yeah, I think with kids, you either get they either wake up like super, super early before everybody else does, or they wake up super, super late when given the choice. I was always in the super early category, and then there were no cartoons I wanted to watch in the mornings anymore, and then I started waking up at late. Not quite noon, but, close to. Yeah. Good morning. I said good morning to So, too. Nothing looked off about her appearance. I was beginning to think that it really was just an awful dream. I stretched and took a deep breath, trying to release the tension inside of me. Well, whatever. It's the start of another day. Good morning. Riri was arranging breakfast just as I headed for the living room. Morning. I said good morning back to her. Good morning. Shimon showed up too. I said good morning to her as well. Let's eat. That'd probably be for the best. I was hungry after all. Thanks for the meal. Thanksies. The sun felt good today. I figured I'd sunbathe for a little bit, so I headed to the veranda. Just lazing around once in a while isn't bad either. Feeling the warm sunlight against your skin is always nice. It might be viewed as a waste of time, but it's actually quite important to do things like that once in a while. And it wasn't until I came to this village that I realized that. In many ways, my society was at odds with this village, like polar opposites. Learning about a different culture, of course, means you learn about the things that are different, but also good. At the same time, I felt like learning about this village has raised more questions for me. Specifically, about my world. Where are thorough rules and regulations truly good? That wasn't something I had just started to ponder about or anything. I was curious about that even before I came to this village. I didn't have an answer to that question. I was able to reach a new conclusion, though, just a few days ago. That saying, it's okay if you don't know, is a valid answer in itself. This world changed me, and while that could be seen as a change for the better or worse, There was no denying the clarity in my mind and body. Now trying to yawn again, like fake a yawn, maybe actually yawn. The warm breeze made me sleepy. We had a meeting about Shimon's birthday party scheduled in the afternoon. There was still time until then, though, so I decided to lie down. The world viewed at an angle, the cheerful chirping of the birds, the rustling of the grass. None of that was present in my world. I looked at the greenery growing in the garden. It's the greenery glowing in the garden. It's a fucking Fallout if I'd ever seen one. I had never seen anything like that in person before coming here. As a result, I realized those things weren't bad at all. Rustle, rustle, the greenery swayed about. Rustle, rustle, and before long, rustle, rustle, it took on the form of a person. Rustle, rustle. I looked at the source of that in disbelief. Couldn't he have shown up in a way that actually made sense? How's it going, youngin'? The village chief sat next to me. I looked at his side profile. I couldn't get a read on him at all, but his figure, for the lack of a better term, also played a part in that. He finally spoke up after a bit. Wanna do it? It was anticlimactic hearing him say that. I figured he was deep in thought or something. Considering his strange persona, though, I wasn't exactly surprised by what he said. Consider the time and place when you say something like that. The chief began to laugh. He didn't seem to regret what he said at all. You're so stiff, but... If you're making a joke about me being hard, I'm gonna be mad. I can't do a George Takei impression. He scratched his head like I had gotten the best of him. What the hell did this old geezer want? Anyway, let's get down to business. His tone was serious. Apparently he did have business with me. I found the book. I'm planning on bringing it to Katomi's house. I didn't forget. I was just going to hand it over during the meeting. Really now? Good. I ain't here for that, though. You aren't? What else could he have been here for? This is important. I was on the edge of my seat, waiting for him to get to it. You know, there's a great spot for peeping inside the bath here. I shouldn't have even gotten my hopes up. I stood up, ready to leave. Hold it. However, the depraved old man had grabbed my arm. What is it, you damn peeping Tom? Ain't you a man? Man. I am a man, yes, but I don't have any interest in peeping on other people. Good on you, Meto. There's something we can agree on. You don't get it. You don't get what being a man's all about. Are we supposed to be criminals or something? He snickered. Men are carnivores. He looked straight at me. Like I said, Roshi from Dragon Ball Z, specifically Lanny's from DBZA. You got two choices. Either you see him buck naked or you don't. Either you want to see him buck naked or you don't. He was forcing me to choose. So what is it? You want to see them naked or not? You son of a bitch. What a fucking choice we've got here. What a great set of options. A fucking impasse. Crossroads in life. A moment of choice. This fucking guy. Listen here. Listen. I do. How'd you know? Fucking asshole. I couldn't hold in my cry. It's only man's nature. I don't believe you. So you don't want to see him? It's settled. He really had a way of forcing you to do things. You've got the lead role in this year battle, got it? Stop making this out to be some big thing. And nincompoop, how do you expect to do this if you ain't serious about it? I guess it was manly. but at the same time, I wasn't really sure. If you're gonna do this, you're gonna actually want to do it. If you don't want to take this seriously, you're... He pretended to slit his throat with his right hand. Toast. They call people like you creepy old men, you know. You flatter me. Now allow me to explain the battle plan. I feel like I'm slowly going to end up slipping into a horrible Macho Man Randy Savage impression. Not that I'm opposed to that. Wait. I had to stop him for a moment. You know what? You said you're doing it, so you're doing it. That's what being a man is about. I'll do it under one condition. What? You think you're in a position to be making demands? Huh? I don't get you, but... Alright, hit me. Don't mind if I do. Shimon's birthday is in 3 days. And I want you to help. He shrugged. Did he not want to help? Obviously I will. He was a really confusing guy. Well, I managed to get him to help, even if it meant doing this crazy peeping thing in exchange. With that, I just needed to get Lady and Datomi on board. So let me explain now. I promised him, so I listened as he went on like it was the most important thing in the world. And I think this is where I'm going to end off this episode. Nice little, about the thought of the recommendations of the village chief, let's just say. And, well, we'll try not to think about that too much. But next time, will we continue on with So's party? Or with, well, I guess it was So's idea for having a party, but Shimon's party. Or are we going to peep on some girls? Fucking this guy. Anyway, I hope to see you all next time.